By now, everybody should have picked up their own learning kit from school, and inside you can see there are all sorts of fun things that we will get to use during our time together. But let's look a little bit closer at what each thing is and how we will be using it. All right, friends, so I took the lid off of my learning kit, and on the top is a name card. On yours, it actually has your name written on it. Up at the top, we have our letters. Then we have a left hand with the numbers 1 through 5. We have a right hand with the numbers 6 through 10. And along the bottom, we have our different shapes. And you'll notice that each shape is a different color as well. I think it's a good idea to either keep this name card in your learning bin or to put it in a safe spot where you will be doing your learning. This way you always have it if you need it. Then we have our journals. These are called fine motor journals, and we will be using these to work on those finger muscles. We will add stickers, we will work on drawing lines, we will work on drawing different numbers and letters. And hopefully by the end of our time together, a decent amount of our pages, so not the whole thing, but a large chunk of our pages will be filled up with our lines and squiggles and stickers. There will even be days where I have you draw a picture. To go along with our fine motor journals, we have these. We have one that is types of lines, and if you flip through, these are some of the lines that we are going to work on creating within our journals. And then we also have one that is types of shapes. And again, these are some shapes that we are going to work on learning how to create ourselves. And remember, friends, it's going to take lots of practice. You're going to have to keep trying in order to get it the way that you would like it. So next up, we have some fun things that we can use for art. We have a pack of colored pencils, a pack of markers. Buried in here is some watercolors. Only use the watercolors after you ask your adult. Okay, these can be pretty messy and we don't want to end up with paint on the walls or the floor. All right, friends? Then we have two different sets, my other set's pretty buried, of crayons. So we have your normal set of crayons, but then this is a cool new set. This gives you all sorts of colors that you might find because when you look at other people, our skin is different colors. So I like that Crayola came out with some crayons that are just for different people's skin colors. Then we have some stickers. Everybody's stickers are a little bit different. These are good for working out those finger muscles. Taking the stickers off, you can add them to your journal. You can add them to a piece of paper at home. Or if you have a sticker chart, you can add it to a sticker chart at home. Again, Ms.K loves fine motor stuff. So everybody has one of these little bins hiding inside the big bin. This is my fine motor bin. And inside are all sorts of things to help those finger muscles grow. We have our little counters, we have erasers, and we have two of these coins. Now the goal for each of these is to put them in this guy. Did you see that? Should we do it again? If we squeeze our little tennis ball monster, his mouth opens. And you can feed him one of the erasers or one of these little plastic coins. And he's always hungry. So, once you fill him up, you can shake everything back out and do it again. But what you may notice is it's kind of hard to squeeze him. You got to use a lot of those hand and finger muscles to get his mouth open enough to feed him. So this is really good practice for you guys. You can also use our little tweezers. Thumb goes on one side, fingers on the other, and you squeeze your fingers together to close. You let go to open. And you can use these tweezers to try and pick up things around your house. You can use them on the erasers or even the plastic little chips. We also have Play-Doh. Miss K loves Play-Doh. You guys will get different kinds of Play-Doh that also goes with the different seasons. So our next thing of Play-Doh will probably be apple scented. We have a container full of beads. Now there are different kinds of beads inside this container. We have the ones that look like this, and they can actually snap together. Again, you're gonna have to use those finger muscles to get them to stick together and to take them apart. And then we have beads that look like this. These beads are great for threading, and you can use the pipe cleaners to stick the beads on. So let me put my phone down so I can show you what that looks like. So if you have your pipe cleaner and you have your bead, you are going to carefully put your bead on the pipe cleaner, just like that. All right, so back to our learning kit, because there's still more in here. This guy, friends, is called a 10 frame, and we will use him when we do math to work on our counting from 1 to 10. Because if you count the boxes, let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 boxes. And our 10 frame goes with our counters, which are these little guys. And you have a bunch of these in here, so we're gonna be using these for math. I also gave everybody 2 of these. These are my die, or a pair of dice. And when we roll them, you'll notice that there's circles on each side, or dots. And you wanna count the dots, and that's gonna tell you how many of the coins that you want. So you can use the dots, both of them together. You can use one at a time. You can come up with a game and you and a friend each get one. It's all good ways to work on those math skills, friends. Inside we have glue sticks, because who does not love some glue? And everybody is gonna get a bottle of glue, even though I don't have one in my kit. You guys have one in yours. You get a pencil sharpener to go with your different kinds of pencils. So we have our little golf pencils, which are a little bit easier for some of you to hold. We have our normal pencils, which is when you get a little bit bigger, these are the kinds of pencils that you would be using in school. And then we also have our chubby pencils, which are a little bit similar to the big guys, but they're just a little bit wider. So it might be a little bit easier for you to hold. We have an eraser because mistakes happen. We have scissors. And here's Miss K's thing. Thumb on the top, 3 fingers on the bottom, open, shut, open, shut. And that's the way we cut. If your thumb is not on top, because Mr. Thumb or Miss Thumb is the boss, thumb always has to be on the top. We don't want to cut like this. If you try to cut like this, you'll notice your hand starts to get really tired. We always want the boss, Mr. Thumb or Miss Thumb, to be on the top. So thumb on the top, 3 fingers on the bottom, open, shut, that's how we cut. And the last thing in our learning kit are our popsicle sticks. Now I will be showing you ways that you can use these popsicle sticks to build different kinds of letters and numbers, but if you really want to, you can use these for an art project. All right, friends, so that was it for our learning bin. Now I'm going to show you just a few of the things that you got in your learning packet, which is this green folder. So inside on the left, were papers for your adult. On the right were papers for you. Everybody also has a group of papers that look a little bit like this. This is our All About Me packet. And we're gonna be working on this together, friends, a little bit at a time. So after our All About Me kit, we have a paper that looks like this. This goes over our glue rule, our rule of glue, that a little dot does a lot. And we are gonna get into this a little bit later. I have a fun little book to go with it. You are gonna practice doing one little dot of glue for each of these circles. This is, again, good practice for those hand muscles of yours. We also have our name booklets. I made one for myself. And we are going to be using this as we work on learning the letters in our name. Whether we talk about how many letters, whether we talk about what letters, the way that we make them, our letter formation, we're just gonna, and how special our names are, because that's part of who we are. And last in our learning packet is our alphabet book. So we have one page for each letter. Again, we will do these pages together. I will let you know what letter you need to be doing. We are going to work on the different formations, so the different lines or shapes that we need to make to form each letter. And then down here you have a little bit of a letter hunt where you're gonna have to find each of the letters that go with the one at top. And then there's always a picture for you to color. This is one of my favorites. So in the very back is your very own pre-K choice board. And this is more for days when you might want to tell mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or your aunt and uncle that you're bored. Instead of saying that you're bored, pull out your choice board and see if there is something on here that you would like to do. We have math, we have reading, we have movement, we have art. There are all sorts of things on here that you can try to do at home. And anytime you complete one of the activities, you can put a little mark. You can either put an X, you can color it in so that you know you have done it. All right, friends, I have two more things to show you to go with our learning packets today. The last two things are your own packet of construction paper, which we will use for different art projects, and your very own dry erase board. Now mine is a little bit bigger than this, just so it's big enough for you all to see, but we're gonna be using these a lot because, again, mistakes happen. It takes a lot of practice to make our letters and numbers, so these markers are erasable and it works pretty awesome. That way we're not wasting a lot of paper, we're saving some trees. Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed our learning kit and learning packet reveal. I also have included in today's links a link for a back to school read aloud with me, and I hope you enjoy. I will talk to you again next time. Bye.